Hello, everybody. Hello, Miss Samia. Hello, Miss Zainab. Hello, Miss Sabah. Welcome again in our 10th tag today.
Hello, Mr. Ilya.
Hello, Miss Zainab. Welcome on board. Now our video is being recorded. So we already started. Tell me if you can see the screen now.
Yes, I see it. Understanding language practice activity.
Okay, thank you. And let me take a screenshot for the attendance of today. Today we have Miss Asma Mahfouz, Miss Zainab Muhammad, Miss Sabah Hussein, and Miss Samia Abu Majd Mustafa. Okay. I think our issue today is very interesting, and we practiced it a lot in season 1. It's about the activities. So understanding language practice activity. This is part B of this topic. By the end of this session, we will have identified the skills and or language that different activities practice. And by the end of the session, you will have recognized how some activities are flexible and can be adapted to different levels and ages. So, how many activities can you remember from the ones we have discussed in NTTP season 1? The images you can see on the screen considered just a hint to remind you of some of these activities that we had in season 1. Can you remember them?
Yes.
Onion rings.
Yes, we start with this one.
Onion ring.
Onion rings.
Asma, Zainab, true. This is onion rings. Can you remember the instructions of this activity?
Yes.
The instructions.
Yes.
Can you tell me?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Zainab.
Yes.
We give them one question to ask, and we can select or choose some pupils. One stand before the other or on front of the other. One of them standing in his position, but the other will round as click round, click arms round. They can ask about a subject, and they different in answers.
Exactly, Ms. Zainab. In onion rings, we make 2 circles of students, inner circle and outer circle. And after making these 2 circles, we have pairs in front of each other, 2 pairs in the inner and outer circle. So they face each other to discuss. Discussion, a question and answer. The first circle, for example, you can make the inner circle to start with a question and the outer one to answer and discuss. So what's the language or skills is aimed in this activity?
What?
What's your aim in this activity? What language you aim to achieve, or what the skills you want to train your students using this activity?
They can learn a new language in different answers.
They can gain new language through the discussion and through speaking. So you develop their speaking skill by using this
Yes.
activity. That's correct. Okay, Miss Asma. Look at
Yes.
yes. This image can remind you with which activity that we have discussed in season 1. You remember
Yes, I
the
remember
name?
that.
Remember the name of this activity?
One question and
Who someone
اللي هو
Yes, each student whisper.
back
Whisper.
training drill.
Try again, try to remember the name of this activity that we have practiced in season 1. It's
Chinese whisper.
yeah, excellent. Exactly, Ms. Zainab, thank you. It's a Chinese whisper.
Mhm.
Yes, thank you, Chinese whisper. What are the instructions in this activity in Chinese whisper? What are the instructions that you can give to your students to do through this activity?
I get one pupil to whisper in his ear about the object or the word.
Yes.
Then he told his colleagues
Mhm.
by whispering in their ear.
Okay. Yani each one of the student whisper to the following student.
Yes.
What should the student whisper about?
About what the teacher said.
Yes, what the teacher said to him.
Told them or tell.
Okay.
Told them.
So you as a teacher say something to the first student. Okay. For example, a certain sentence or vocabulary. So you can achieve the some grammar or vocabulary by using the Chinese whisper. So the first,
Such as the class is finished, as we saw in the video.
yes, yes, exactly. As we have seen in the video in that tag, I cannot remember which one of our tags in season 1, but we practice it together, and we know how to make the Chinese whisper activity by the following instructions. The teacher can write or say something to the first student, and the first student whisper to the second one, the second whisper to the third, till the first one who can say the same sentence that the first one has told them. So the students can have fun by listening to the last student and compare between the sentence of the first one with the last one. Of course, I tried it with my students and most of them give a different thing because each student give some little difference. So when the speech go from one to one, at the end or the last student, you can have something different. Okay. We aim in this activity that maximize the speaking time with the students and each other in a fun atmosphere that the students like to do. The next image, this image,
Hot seat.
The hot seat.
right?
The hot seat.
This is the hot seat.
Yes.
No.
The hot seat, yes.
You remember
Yes.
the instructions of the hot seat activity?
Yes. Yes. Someone. It is like not a joke. It's like a puzzle or a game.
Mhm.
Someone sits on a chair, and his colleagues ask him questions. Yes or no questions. It must be about the word or to increase vocabulary or jobs or transport, anything. He answers yes or no.
Interesting.
That-
Yes,
Yes.
Ms. Asma, exactly. This is perfect. You can practice the vocabulary with the students or some sentences with grammar. You can teach not exposed or clear to the students. You can put some grammar that the student don't like
Yes.
much, but
Yes,
you can,
I did that, Mr. Elia.
yes, Ms. Tina,
I used it with grammar in primary 5.
yes.
Are you going to send an email? Are you going to مثلا wash the car? Are you going to like this? It's a structure in their
Yes, it's
curriculum.
a fun. It's a fun for the students, and they liked this activity much.
Yes.
What about this one? Reminds you with something? What does this image remind you with?
I don't remember that one.
What about the jigsaw reading? You remember the instructions of the jigsaw
Jigsaw.
reading?
No, we didn't have.
It's a new one.
Okay,
Yes.
I can remind you with this activity in the jigsaw reading. You make some pieces of paper written inside some pieces of a story, okay, and you share it out to some students in each group. Each group has some papers. Each paper contains a piece of a story, and they like a jigsaw, and the students should collect them and put them in order. So it's a nice way to practice reading, and after that you can develop this activity into speaking
Reading, yeah.
discussion between the groups and each other. Okay. So what about this one? This image can remind you with a certain activity that we had before. This is a
Thinking skills.
this is a brain, and we have a very famous activity that's called brain.
Storming.
Excellent. Yes, Ms. Zainab. Yes. Brainstorming. Thank you. What should the students do in brainstorming? What should the students do?
They say they told everything they know in random way. يعني.
Randomly and swiftly, it's in a speedy way, very quickly. They tell the ideas that quickly come to their minds, so they can write word by word for any idea that come to their mind, and after that they collect these ideas to make an article or writing passage. Okay, so concerning the kind of activities, what kind of activities do you use regularly with your learners, whether to practice language or practice fluency or other skills?
brainstorm.
Yes, brainstorming. This is one. What else?
Role playing.
Yes, role play. What else?
Jumbled sentence.
Yes.
Jumbled sentence.
Jumbled sentences. Yes. Okay. Let's move to
puzzle.
And puzzles. Do you use the course book, or do you have activities which you adapt and personalize? Frankly, we always use the course book, and we stick, and we used to we are used to sticking to the course book all the time. We use it, and we use the activities and exercises inside the course book. Do you agree with me? But after our training, I think we came out of the box. We came out of the course book and tried another activities of our own as teachers. When I was a new teacher or novice one, I considered this course book as a holy book or a holy thing that I cannot go out with it. So all the activities, all the exercises, I stick to do it with my students and nothing else. But after we had many trainings, and we had many other ways and activities we learned to do with our students, we know that course book is one way that we can use with other activities that can help. So what's your opinion about that? What's your opinion about a course book?
Can I speak?
Yes, of course.
Yes, we all stick to the course book.
Yes, go ahead, Ms. Zainab.
Ms. Zainab ولا Ms. أسماء مين اللي هيبتدي الأول؟
Ms. Zainab is talking, so you can go ahead.
Okay, I think we do these activities, most of them, and we need others يعني others activities to learn more and more. I think يعني احنا بنحتاج برضو أكتر وأكتر، يعني كل ما every training, learn new activities.
Exactly, Ms. Zainab, that's right. We use the course book as one method, but we have many other methods that can help beside this course book. Anybody want to comment?
Yes.
Okay. What about your learners? Are there activities which they respond will do, or something they prefer, their favorite activity that you noticed that the student love most?
Yes.
Okay.
I think role playing, they like it very, very much.
They like role play. Mhm.
Yes.
Why? Why do you think the students like the role play activity?
Because they role play the conversation, and they want to have self-confidence in to speak in English.
Yes, role play can give them self-confidence. They can speak and they can act something from a play or from a story that they can speak by themselves like
gives them happiness.
yes, Ms. Samia. Okay. Anybody have noticed that the students love a certain activity and you repeat this activity or make this activity again and again in the class?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Eli.
Yes.
Yes. Can I speak?
Yes, Mrs. Ma, of course. Go ahead.
Yes. I made an activity by my own. I named it let's go fishing.
Let's go.
Let's go fishing.
Let's go fishing by
I
F.
cut out
F fishing by F starts with F or PH.
yes. لا, fishing صيد.
Fishing. Okay.
I cut out I draw a fish and cut out so many of them. I put a metal into these fishes. I write some letters, some consonants, some words. The students like this. I use my bait. For example, yeah, in primary one, capital and small letters. My bait is a capital letter. They fish the fish with a small letter. They like it very much.
So you make a fishing rod?
Yes.
You,
Yes.
You make.
I put this fish on the table like a sea. A student take his hook and the bait is in my hand. For example, a capital. They should look for the fish with the small. They fish it. They like this activity very much. My own pupils, especially grades 1, 2, 3.
Excellent idea, Ms. Matt. Thank you for this. And I have written down your idea. It's amazing. Thank you. This is
yes, they like it. Sometimes I tell them, if you didn't stay calm, we want to go fishing today. This makes them very quiet and so on.
very creative, Mrs. Matt. Thank you so much. Now move to this slide. Look at these statements made by some teachers and think which one represents similar experience to yours. We have here some statements told by some teachers. I'll read one by one for you. We have teacher number 1 saying, there are some activities that my learners love, so I tend to use them over and over again. Teacher number 2, so concentrate in each statement for each teacher to decide which one is similar or represents similar experience to yours. Okay? Teacher number 2. Some activities are really versatile. It means adaptable. For example, find someone who, if you remember this activity, find someone who, when we make the students ask each other if someone who is or who was born in التاريخ الفلاني, or find someone whose name starts with Ahmed, and so on. So they can interact together with each other. I can use that to practice any language. Teacher number 3. In the textbook we use, every unit tends to use the same activities. There is always a true-false activity, then a matching activity, a dialogue, and a writing task. It's a bit boring. So this teacher is talking about the sticking to the course book and how much boring it is. Teacher number 4. I wish I had more activities up my sleeve so I don't have to keep using the same ones. So this teacher like to have many activities in his mind that he can all the time change the activities and not using the same activities each time. 5, I don't really think about the merits or shortcomings of an activity. If the learners are having fun, that's the main thing. So this teacher like her students to be or to have fun all the time, and if they don't gain some new grammar or new vocabulary, so it's okay. Just the students had fun, and for sure they gain something in between. So which one suits you or similar to your experience? Which
Number
one?
4.
Number 4 is like Ms. Zainab and Ms. Asma. You prefer number 4, teacher number 4, that you like to have many activities that can use inside your classes all the time. Okay.
Yes,
Class.
and some lessons
Yes.
demand the variety in activities. Some lessons just jump left, jump right, SWAT flies, hot seat, as the lesson demand.
Exactly. You like to have a variety of activities in your class. Now listen to some other teachers responding to the statements from the teacher that you have just seen. Listen and match each one to the statement they are responding to. So the first one, A, B, C, D, E. You will listen to these other teachers that comment on each one, and each one from A to E has a certain opinion that suits one of these 5 teachers. Okay, so we will listen to A and try to match it to one of these teachers.
It's true that sometimes each unit of a course book follows a predictable pattern, and that while this can be reassuring for the teacher and students, it can also become monotonous. If you know of other activities, you can introduce these instead when appropriate, or you can adapt the coursebook activities to add variety to the lessons.
Okay. So this
3.
teacher,
Number 4.
3.
Maybe,
Yes.
maybe 3.
3, exactly.
3. 3.
Listen to B.
It's true that this activity can be used to practice a range of language. There are other activities which can also be adapted in this way, such as dictogloss, role plays, jigsaw reading, and so on. During this module, you'll see examples of these activities.
Which one?
4.
1.
2. It's
2.
number 2. See?
This is probably true for most teachers.
You want your learners to enjoy the lessons, and most of your groups probably have their favorites,
5.
which you might do as a reward for
5.
good behavior or hard work. At the same time, however, it's important to be aware that different activity types have different underlying purposes, and that the activities you choose ought to correspond to lesson aims.
Okay. C matches
4.
1.
Yes, all teachers want their learners to have fun and for learning to be a positive experience in their classroom. However,
5.
there are other factors to consider, such as the language or skills you want to develop, appealing to all of your learners' preferences and meeting all of their needs. It is important to consider advantages and drawbacks too.
So this one matches 5 exactly, Mr. Abdul. Yes.
Yes, all teachers.
E.
As a teacher, you probably tend to collect as many activities as you can. Teachers are always on the lookout for new ideas. There's nothing wrong with this, but introducing new and fun activities all the time does not guarantee effective teaching and learning. You also need to consider the suitability and effectiveness of activities in achieving learning aims and not just their novelty value.
And of course, this one is
4.
4. Okay, let's move to another section. It's the activity types. Now we are going to talk about the activity types. You have here some types of activities like find someone who, puzzle, word categories, jumble sentences, role play, jigsaw reading. Match the activity instructions with the name of the activity. We have here instructions for one of these activities. So now I'm going to read the instructions and you decide which one is this activity number 1. A man lives on the 12th floor of a block of flats. Every morning he gets up and takes the lift to the ground floor. He gets out of the lift and goes to work. Every evening he comes back home, takes the lift to 8th floor and walks to the 12th floor. Why? So, what kind of activity is this? Find someone who?
Reading.
Word category.
Puzzle.
Jumble sentences, role play, jigsaw reading.
I think puzzle.
Ms. Zainab said puzzle. Ms. Zainab said puzzle. You have another or a different opinion? So let's see. The correct answer is yes, it's a puzzle.
Yes.
So we chose puzzle. Let's go to the second activity. The instructions say, your teacher will give you some word cards. Work together to put the words into the right category. Give the word cards back to the teacher when you have finished. So you have
Where the categories? Where
word
the categories?
categories. Ms. Zainab again. Is it the word categories? You agree with Ms. Zainab or not?
Yes.
Yes.
You agree with Ms. Zainab?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Right. Exactly. Word categories. The instructions say, look at the sentences. They show the stages of a classroom ranking activity. Work together to put the stages of the ranking activity in the right order. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of paper and you have to put them in order. So this activity is
Find someone who.
jumble
Find
sentence,
someone.
role
Jumble
play,
sentence.
jigsaw.
Jumbled
play.
sentences.
Yes, exactly. It's jumbled
Yes.
sentences.
Jumble sentences.
The instruction of activity 4. The instructions say a drill. I think we have discussed the drill in season 1. A drill is a type of controlled activity where learners repeat after the teacher. There are a number of different types of drill. Work in groups of 4. Your trainer will give you a piece of paper with definition of a type of drill. Give the paper back to your trainer when you have understood definition. Tell your group about your definition and answer the questions. Have you ever done any drills like these? What are some of the advantages and blah, blah, blah? What's the answer here? What's the activity? Role play, jigsaw reading, find some. What?
Jigsaw reading.
Ms. Zainab again with the correct answer. Yes, thank you. Jigsaw reading, okay. Activity number 5, work in pairs. Your teacher will give you a roll card. You need to agree on when you
Role play,
have
okay, طبعا.
classes and have to prepare for the exam. Exactly.
Role play. It's
Now,
very easy.
exactly. We have 2 cards here, card for a student and another one for the teacher, and each one will take a role to play. Role play.
A common one. Role play.
The 6th activity, instructions. Walk around and ask each other questions to find someone who answers yes to the following statements. Write their name in the box provided. Find someone who and the name. So, of course, it's
Find someone.
find someone who.
Find someone.
Okay. Now think about these questions. Think about the activities you have tried and discuss these questions. Have you ever used any of these activities with your learners? Which ones? For what purpose? Of course, we are talking about the coming exercise. في السلايد اللي جاية في exercise هتفكر فيها من خلال الأسئلة دي. Which of the activities do you think are useful for your learners and why? Are there any activities which you would not use with your learners? Why not? So think about these questions. The activity type, puzzle, word categories, jumbled sentences, jigsaw reading, role play, find someone who. Each one of these activity types, think about the skills or the sub-skills and the language you aim through this activity. And this activity might